Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am so excited to have you along on this bookish journey with me. So if you're new, thank you for joining me and I hope you stick around. And if you are returning, thank you so much and I can't wait to chat books with you. So today we have another one of my favorite videos to film, to watch. One of my favorite bookish videos. We have our July TBR, and I'm very patriotic. I've got my red, white, and blue shirt. I've got my red, white, and blue nails with a little firecracker on the nail. So I'm super excited for this July TBR, and I can't wait to choose it with you guys. Before we choose my July TBR, I was thinking of going through my June stats, what I got through in my June TBR, what I didn't get to, and what I had thoughts about in regards to the books I did read, because I do have a couple thoughts about the books that I did read. So let's get into those books now. So in my June TBR video, I mentioned that I was already in the middle of a book at the start of the month, so I did end up finishing that in the month of June. It was Hellbent. It was fantastic. This was such a good book. It was such a good sequel to Ninth House. It really brought the story together, although it left off on a giant cliffhanger. And I'm pretty sure the third book in the trilogy comes out in September, I believe. So I'm so excited for this one. I highly recommend both of these books, both this and Ninth House, if you have not gotten to them already. This was a great first read of the month. So next, I did my buddy read with one of my Bookstagram friends. This was my pre-picked June TBR read, The Burning Side. This was phenomenal. I gave it 5 stars. I've seen back and forth discourse about this online. Some people did not like her writing style, did not like the story. It felt as though there were too many characters. I am the opposite. I thought this was perfectly written. I thought there was just the right amount of information about each character. We learned a lot about everyone, and I thought the story, while it was pretty sad, it was very beautifully done in my opinion. So I really enjoyed this book. I would recommend it if you are in the space for kind of a heavier read. But it was a very good read for June as well. So I did start a couple of reads in June that I didn't finish, which I will get to in a minute, but the last official book that I did finish in June was Every Summer After. And I am kind of against the popular vote that this is a very good book. I did not enjoy this. While I finished it, I was just curious what was going to happen. I kind of scrolled through some spoilers since the show was coming out. People were talking about it. I kind of knew what was going to happen in the end, but I still read it anyways, and I did not enjoy it. Follow me on Goodreads and Fable if you want to see my full review, but I just thought it was quite juvenile, and I thought all of the relationships were really toxic. Granted, I know that it's written in the beginning at the POV of a 13-year-old, and we work our way through teenage years. I understand it's going to be juvenile, but even the 30-year-olds were making decisions that I did not like or agree with. That's just me. It's quite unfortunate because I do have a physical copy of One Golden Summer, which is the sequel to Every Summer After, and I am usually not one to buy books in bulk when they are a series, because what if I don't like the series? Then I have a bunch of books that I'm not going to end up reading. I am a very firm believer in that, and here I am with the second book in this series. I think when I bought this, I thought all of her books were kind of like Emily Henry and Abby Jimenez, where they're kind of interconnected standalones. I guess this is not necessarily that. So I think I am going to pass this one up, and I'm kind of bummed because I saw such positive discourse about this online. The show's coming out, or I guess it already came out. I have not seen good reviews about that, but they changed a lot about the book. So maybe I will like the show, because I did not like the book. But to each their own. Everyone has their different opinions, and unfortunately mine was a 2-star rating on Every Summer After, and I will just be passing this along to a secondhand bookstore or a friend or something, but this will not be remaining on my bookshelf. So I also started 2 books this month as well that I'm going to be taking into July with me, which I guess I will take into account when I'm picking my July TBR. But we did start Morning Star, very excited. Looks like I'm not very far through. I'm maybe about 100 pages in. It's very good so far. When I went on my trip, I took Every Summer After, so I kind of put this one to the side, but this is going to be the book that I finish next. I'm going to get right back into this. Things are getting crazy. We're off to a crazy start. super, super excited to continue with this one. And then lastly, here's my Kindle. This Kindle case is from Amazon. Just a side note, I love it. It has a little stand so you can read. I am reading on my Kindle If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I was out and about and had some time to kill, and I didn't have a book with me, nor did I have my Kindle, so I started reading on my Kindle app on my phone. And I was just scrolling through what I had in my Kindle library, and If We Were Villains caught my eye, so I got about 10-15% of the way through that. I also plan on reading the rest of this in July, since I've already started it as well. And then there were 2 books that did not get chosen in the month of June. The first being Station 11. I chose this one originally because it's short and I'm in a dystopian mood. Not saying I'm not in the mood for this, it didn't catch my eye as much as the other ones on my TBR did. I'm super bummed to announce I did not get to Broken Dove. I think I was not ready for a big book. I was going on vacation, didn't want to lug this bad boy with me. I am going to try my best to get this on my July TBR with the TBR prompt wheel. However we can do it, I'm going to try my absolute hardest because I really want to read this book. So as normal, we have our TBR prompt wheel as well as my Goodreads. All the books that I have on my bookshelf are in my Goodreads. I did add a couple because I am borrowing a couple books from a friend and I didn't have them in here. But that's silly because I should be considering them when this is what I'm going off of for my TBR. So I just updated my TBR this morning. I also added the 2 books I got from Book of the Month this month. So if I choose those, I do not have them because Book of the Month came up today. I'm doing really, really bad with my goal this year. I changed my goal from 50 books to 30 books. So we need to step it up. I was shooting for 4 books a month. 150 was my goal, and I want to get back to that. I read 3 books in the month of June, so I'm hoping to read 4 books in the month of July. I'm off work for the next week-ish, so I'm hoping I get a lot of good reading done. However, it's the 4th of July. We are hosting a barbecue, so we'll see. So let's do our first spin. I think I'll choose 3 books off the wheel, and we're gonna say 5's the goal, and if 4 happen, 4 happen. So come along with me while we choose the 3 reads for this month on top of the 2 reads I currently have going. A book you know nothing about. Okay, that's fun because I don't really enjoy reading blurbs. I feel like some book blurbs give away a lot more than they should, so I try to avoid blurbs. So I'm gonna scroll through and see what a book is that I know nothing about. So first, being one of the books my friend lent me, My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I know nothing about that book. I don't really know the premise or anything. I just know it's a thriller. A couple months back, I did a Valentine's themed blind date with a book with some friends, and the book that I ended up getting was A Love Letter to Whiskey. I don't know anything about that book. It was just the book that I ended up getting there. So that is another one. The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I don't know anything about that. An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina, Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina, The Couple Next Door by Sherry Lapina, The Institute by Stephen King has very good reviews. I don't really know much about that. The Invitation by Lucy Foley. Okay, I think the moral of the story is I could choose any book on my TBR that is a thriller pretty much and be fine. Once They Were Wolves, I don't know much about that book either. I think I picked that up because she wrote Wild Dark Shore and everyone was raving about it and I couldn't find Wild Dark Shore in the beginning. I ended up getting it on Book of the Month, but then I saw that she wrote another book, so I picked it up. I don't know, all that to say, I don't know anything about Once We Were Wolves, and that's a pretty short read, I believe. 272 pages. Since we are picking 5 books this month, I think we should go with the sub 300 book. So I think we have decided that Once We Were Wolves is the winner. Let me go grab that. So here we go. Like I said, I don't know anything about this book. So I read the back. This is giving Wild Dark Shore energy. Obviously she wrote that book. I didn't love Wild Dark Shore. If you've seen my other videos where I've talked about it, you'd know. We'll see though. I'm gonna give this one a chance. Like I said, it's sub 300 pages. It's like 250 pages. So hopefully it's just a quick read, and I have learned that when I go in with low expectations, books tend to surprise me, so hopefully this falls under that category. Okay, now we are doing our second spin. Treat Yo Shelf. Does that mean I'm supposed to buy a book, or is that like a free choice? because I already know what my free choice would be. It would be Broken Dove that's sitting literally right there staring at me. But I want it to be a prompt. I want to pick one that falls under the category. So we're gonna spin again. So spin number 2, part 2. A classic. I don't think I own a single classic. Part 3. It's not that I don't want to try classics, I just don't think I've gotten to that point in my reading career, if you will, that I'm ready for a classic. So maybe down the line, but right now I'm very into kind of getting out of using my brain. Use the dystopian, the romance, the fun. So yeah, we'll get to it eventually. Nature on the cover. Okay, that's when Goodreads comes in handy. Once There Were Wolves would have been perfect for this. Let's see. My Husband's Wife again, that has a lake. It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. It's a lake, trees, a little house back there. That could be a good option. Station 11, We Are Camping, it looks like. Beartown, Ice Mountains, that's very nature. I think those are probably the most nature-y I have. I've got a lot of Emily Henry's, the cartoon covers. Yeah, okay, those are kind of the main ones that I have. Not many of these books are really standing out to me right now. I think maybe, am I entering into a slump? I hope not, because I was in a big slump earlier this year and we are not doing good on our reading goal. And I've already put down my reading goal by 20 books. So why am I kind of feeling Beartown? It's a really big book. I need to stop adding really big books to my TBR because Morningstar is 500 plus pages and I'm not doing good on my, if I haven't said it already, I'm not doing good on my reading challenge. But you know what? I think I should add a thriller to the mix. I haven't read a thriller in a while. So either My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney or It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. So they both have the same kind of lake vibe atmosphere on the cover. So I'm purely going to go off of which one has a higher rating. Let me just preface that not always are the ratings going to be true to what I believe because, like I said, Every Summer After has over 4 stars on Goodreads. So that's just what I'm going to use because both of them have a similar cover. So that's just what I'm going to use to differentiate them. So It's Not Her has 3.95. My Husband's Wife has 4.0. So I will do My Husband's Wife and my friend will be very happy about that because then I can return her book to her. So let me go grab that now. Here is our second book. I also know nothing about this book. So I don't even think I'm going to read the dust cover. I'm just going to see how long this book is. I want to go in completely blind. Okay, this is barely over 300 pages. Is it even 300 pages? 301 pages. I think July is going to be a good month. I said that last month, but we have short books on this month's TBR, so they are more doable. All right, we are doing our last spin of the day. I'm kind of bummed. I want to do more spins, but it's okay. We're not going to overwhelm ourselves with a gigantic TBR. We're not going to get through. 5-star prediction. Okay, that's fun. Let's go through and think about what I will be super, super excited to read. I do think Beartown will be a 5-star read just from all of the things I've heard, what I usually enjoy in a book. I have heard really good things about Kill For Me, Kill For You. It has good ratings. I really enjoyed another Steve Kavanaugh book that I read. It's called 13. It's about a murderer being on a jury for his murder. It was really good. It's on Kindle Unlimited, at least it was at the time that I read it. It was phenomenal. So I think Kill For Me, Kill For You would probably be a 5-star read. The Unhoneymooners by Kristen Lauren. I read my first Kristen Lauren book in May, I think. Recently I read The Paradise Problem and I absolutely loved it. I love her writing style. I think she is so funny. She is so witty. I love the way she writes her characters. And I feel like that is a good summer read. So I think that's at the top of my list is The Unhoneymooners. People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read. I really love Emily Henry's writing as well. Similar to Kristen Lauren, I think she's very funny, she's very witty, she writes her characters very well. So I think either of those will also be 5-star reads. Those are also very good summer reads. Summer is going to be gone before we know it. August will probably be my last summer TBR, I'd say. I mean, I live in Arizona, so it's gonna stay hot through October, but the summery reads kind of will end next month. So maybe those would be some good options. And then of course, I think Broken Dove is going to be a 5-star read for me as well. And I was looking for a reason to put it on my TBR this month, and I'm debating on putting it on my TBR. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bend the rules just a little bit because we did get that trio shelf or whatever spin. I'm gonna go back and undo that one, and I'm gonna put Broken Dove on my TBR for that one because it's sitting right here and it's looking at me and it's saying you want to read me so bad. And you know what? It's right. I do want to. So we're going to. And then I think for the 5-star prediction spin, I think I'm gonna go with the Unhoneymooners. I really, really liked Kristen Hanna's last book that I read, or Kristen Hanna. Why did I say that? Christina Lauren's last book that I read. So I think this is what I'm in the mood for. It's summer, this will be a great poolside read while it's still pool season. Like I said, I'm off work this week, so while I'm just relaxing at the pool, that will be a great book to just float and enjoy the day. So that is what I think we're gonna do. Let me go grab it. Okay, here she is in all of her glory. I'm so excited to do this one, and I'm actually really pumped to put this on the July TBR. Well guys, we have quite the TBR this month. It is gigantic and it is 100% not getting done, but it gives me a bunch of options because we have a bunch of different genres this month. What do we have? We have dark academia, we have science fiction, we have literary fiction, a thriller, a romance, and a dystopian romance. Romantasy, whatever you want to call it. Wow, we have a stacked lineup. So I'm so excited. Let's just go through these really quick together. So we do have the 2 books that I've already started, If We Were Villains and Morning Star. Hopefully these 2 will be done in the next handful of days. I'm really excited to finish them. I'm enjoying them both. Next, we chose Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. This is sub 300 pages. I have no expectations, so hopefully this one will be a good one for me. I'm excited to give it a try. Next, we have My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I have enjoyed the 1 or 2, I don't remember how many books by her that I've read. I enjoyed them, so hopefully this one is just the same. I've heard good things about it, so hopefully it's a good one. Next, we chose The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I'm super excited to read this one. It is bigger than I thought it was going to be. We're at almost 400 pages, which is kind of a lot for a romance. So we'll see. But this one also has some pretty good reviews, so I'm very excited. This will be a good summer read to wrap up July. And then we added this just to add it because it needs to get read. It's so funny looking back because I was so nervous to read Silver Elite, and now I can't shut up about reading this book. I just need to get to it. I need to start it, and once I start it, I'm gonna eat it up. I know it for sure. So this was the last addition to the TBR. We'll see if I get in the mood to read it. Hopefully I do. I think the size is just freaking me out a little bit. It's a little bit bigger than Silver Elite was, but you know, we're gonna have to do it because we really want to jump back into this world. So let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these books. I don't know a lot about most of them. Like I said, I don't really read the blurbs beforehand. I just go on the vibes. But that hasn't led me astray yet, so we're gonna continue doing what works until it doesn't work anymore. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me choose my TBR and talk about how much I did not like Every Summer After. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and I can understand how someone would really like this book. Like I said, it was well written, it kept me intrigued. It did not make me want to throw it across the room and not finish it. It just didn't make me want to continue. But with all jokes aside, everyone likes their own books, and I know I have a different taste than a lot of my friends, and that's totally fine, but that's what makes talking about books so fun, because everyone has their own opinions and they all differ, and that's what makes talking about them so interesting. So thank you so much for being here with me and choosing my July TBR, and I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Hopefully that will be soon, and I can't wait to talk about all of these books with you guys once I get through them. If you want to follow me on Goodreads, on Fable, or on Bookstagram, this will all be linked below, and then we can continue the conversation over there. And if I don't see you on any of those platforms, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!